and senior cabinet colleague, the son of the soil from Hassan, whose family, right from former Prime Minister Deve Gowda ji to former Chief Minister Kumaraswamy ji, have served the people of Hassan. Thank you very much, Kumaraswamy ji, Honorable Minister for Steel and Heavy Industries, for giving me an opportunity to come to Hassan, to come to be with my brothers and sisters who are coffee growers, to hear from them, to meet them and understand what is happening on the ground in amongst the coffee growing community. I am indeed grateful that you invited me here. I had not realized that no Commerce Minister has come here in 42 years. I think in 1982, when the last minister came, Gujral Sahab, I was just becoming an adult. From then until now, it is very unfortunate that we have not had a direct connect with the coffee growers. But at the outset, let me assure you and all my brothers and sisters assembled here that today will be a landmark day. It will be written in golden words, because every suggestion that all our dear brothers and friends and colleagues have made, I have made notes. All these are notes of all the suggestions and letters that have been given by all our colleagues here. And I assure you that to the best of my ability, every single one of the suggestions will be taken to its logical conclusion. Honorable Member of Parliament from Hassan, Shri Shreyash Patel, Honorable Member of Parliament, Shri Tejasvi Surya ji. He is not only my younger brother, but he is the All India President of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha. A very, very coveted post, a very important post. In fact, if I may share with you, the President of the Bharatiya Janata Party was once upon a time the President of the Yuva Morcha. Now the rest you can make out yourself. Shri S. Manjunath, Honorable Member of the Legislative Assembly from Sankleshpur. Shri Dr. Manthar Gowda, Honorable Member of Legislative Assembly from Coorg, from Modikari. Shri H.K. Suresh, Honorable Member of the Legislative Assembly from Belur. Mutammaji, former Minister. Shri H.K. Kumaraswamy, former Minister. Shri H.T. Mohan Kumar, the President of Kannada Growers Federation. When my colleagues were briefing me about KGF, I got confused between the movie KGF and Karnataka Growers Federation. But I can assure you, just like the movie became a super hit, Karnataka Growers Federation will also become a super hit. I have also seen that movie. Only difference is it was Fuller Goldfields. But we would like to make coffee the new gold in the farming sector. Shri M.J. Dinesh, Honorable Chairman of the Coffee Board, and I must say, I was reading the report of the Chairman. The amount of work Mr. Dinesh has done is truly commendable, and I'd like all of us to acknowledge his good work. In fact, after the landslide and the Twinard, After 24 years, he is the first chairman who visited Kerala. Otherwise, Coffee Board chairman was around Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Assam. After 23 or 24 years, the first chairman to visit Kerala is Mr. Dinesh. That is his sensitivity to the farming community. Shri Dr. K.G. Jagdisha, Secretary of the Coffee Board. I have been taking feedback from him over the last few months, and I can assure you that he's very committed to bringing about change and improvement in the working of the Coffee Board. All the other distinguished senior leaders of the coffee industry, coffee farmers, and truly the jewel of the coffee business, all our farmers, all the farmers and plantation owners who are truly the main purpose that we are all assembled here today. In Hindi, it is called Utsav Murti. You are like the idol or the gods to whom we pray. And today's program is dedicated to all our farmer brothers and sisters. Shubha Mandayalama. Good afternoon. I must say the Karnataka Growers Federation over the years have really held the fort and taken your problems, whether it has to go to the coffee board, whether it has to go to Delhi. The Karnataka Growers Federation and it has many other associations in the umbrella federation has continuously worked for the welfare of the farmers. They act as the interface, as the setu between the coffee board, central government and the farmers. And I'd like to thank them that they have invited me here today on National Farmers Day, which is being celebrated all over the country. It is Sri Charan Singh's birth anniversary. He is somebody who has always stood for the rights of farmers. His illustrious grandson, Sri Jayant Chaudhary, is our colleague in the Union Cabinet, and I'm indeed very, very privileged to be among our coffee farmers today on this auspicious day. Friends, yours is one industry which is not only providing livelihood, which is not only providing income to lakhs of farmers, to lakhs of labor, to lakhs of workmen who are working in the coffee industry, but who is also helping the country earn nearly 10,000 crore rupees of foreign exchange. And therefore, I would like to bow to all of you for the wonderful work and your contribution to nation building, your contribution to making the lives of lakhs of families better for the future. In fact, coffee had a role even in the freedom movement. Many of our freedom fighters used to meet at the Indian Coffee House and plan out what they will do for the freedom struggle. Many of you may not know, but Tejasvi will know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who at one point of time was the party in charge for Himachal Pradesh, and whenever he went to Shimla, the capital of Himachal Pradesh, his usual place where he would spend hours was the coffee house on the Mall Road of Shimla. And he would spend hours over there with party colleagues and plan out party activities at the coffee house. In fact, you rightly pointed out Gradually, we are all becoming coffee lovers and coffee drinkers. The British had promoted tea in a big way because they wanted to sell the tea that they were taking from India or from Ceylon at that time, now Sri Lanka, processing it in England and selling it back at high prices to India. I am told they used to even give tea packets free of charge so that more and more people got into the habit of drinking tea. My good friend from Hatti Coffee was suggesting to me that I should promote that India becomes a country of coffee lovers. I myself, since the morning, I had two cups of coffee on the flight. I had one filter coffee at Bangalore airport. I had one Hatti filter coffee when I entered this venue, and I've had one more over here. That's 5 cups of coffee. After my morning tea, of course, the morning tea was in Mumbai in my home. But 5 cups of coffee. And gradually it's picking up. In fact, international companies are coming to India to sell their coffee. I think it's high time. Instead of exporting just coffee beans or raw coffee, more and more companies should start processing the coffee that is made in India. More and more startups like Hatti Coffee should come into India and start processing the coffee and not only selling coffee in India but selling ready to drink processed coffee across the world so that our Indian branded coffee becomes the taste all over the world. In fact, when Prime Minister Modi goes to any country internationally, or when I go to meet my counterparts in any country overseas, or trade ministers or industry ministers come to meet me in India, we give them a packed box of coffee that the coffee board has prepared with 3 types of coffee in it. Chikmagalur, Coorg, and Hassan district. These 3 coffees we pack in a beautiful box and give it to all the foreign ministers, and Prime Minister gives it to his colleagues, the heads of state, to promote Indian coffee across the world. And I think it's time that we started encouraging more startups like Tejaswi and some of our other colleagues were saying. And therefore, I think they have taken a decision to develop Tobaspet Coffee Board facility. At the Tobaspet Coffee Board facility, we'll be providing space to any companies or any startups who want to come there and start developing their brand, start developing their platform, start looking at sourcing coffee and providing that both in India and internationally. I would invite youngsters, possibly the youngsters from the coffee farmers' families, to look at becoming look at becoming entrepreneurs and start branding, packaging, processing and selling the coffee so that the value addition will help the industry, will help our small farmers earn more income. In fact, they have just now showed me their plans to set up a skill development center at Balle Honur in Chikmagalur. This center will be a skill development center which will come up in Chikmagalur. They were saying they have a fund shortage, I will make sure that the funds are available to you, either through the coffee board or through the CSR of one or the other companies. But you can start the plans, and we will certainly set up the skill development center and provide encouragement to our youngsters and train them to add value in the coffee chain and earn more money for the coffee planters and coffee industry. I was also discussing with my colleagues what more we can do for the coffee industry. In fact, some of your suggestions I will come to, but what I am given to understand is that there was a scheme for integrated coffee development. This integrated coffee development scheme was discontinued about 13 years ago. There used to be an old scheme which was discontinued in 2011. We have just now, after 13 years, reintroduced the integrated coffee development scheme, and under that scheme we will be providing support for quality upgradation through drying yard, through godowns, through pulpers, through mechanical dryers, solar panel dryers, and other equipment, particularly for mechanization. We would also like to support custom hiring centers where you can buy expensive machines and share it amongst many farmers, for which the Coffee Board is encouraging making farmer producer organizations, FPOs or cooperatives. I'm told 12 or 13 FPOs have already started. Their target is 100 FPOs in this region. And I would urge you, Kumar Swamiji, Tejasvi, our MP, all our MLAs and the Coffee Board, please work together, and the KGF, please work together and make collective effort. Small farmers will not be able to mechanize, will not be able to go in for modern equipment on their own because their holding is small. The utilization of equipment cannot justify for small farmers. I would urge all of you, you can make 100 farmer producer organizations, you can make more than that, and each FPO should have as many members as you can collect. Don't make very small FPOs. The larger the FPO, the more your capacity will be to get support from the Coffee Board, the more our ability, because we give 70% subsidy. Coffee Board gives 70% subsidy if you have a collective scheme as a cooperative or FPO. If you apply as an individual farmer, you can only get 40% subsidy. But if you work collectively, you can get up to 70% subsidy. And therefore, I would like to urge all of you and the public representatives, try to create more and more FPOs. Then all the machinery that we will give, the technology infusion that we can support, the precision farming or smart solutions and fertigation that we can help you with. The use of drone technology or satellite technology can be provided to you as a farmer producer organization or a cooperative. Therefore, I would urge all of you, we have started this scheme after 13 years once again, drying yard, go down, pulpers, mechanical drivers, all of this can be used by the cooperative or FPO. 70% will be provided by the coffee board, and for the balance 30%, if collectively you bring in maybe 15%, we will help you get a loan from a bank for the balance 15%. And I'm thinking in my mind, once I go back, I will draw up a program by which we will set up a small fund to guarantee the loan that the FPO will take, so that that can be available to the FPO at a very low rate of interest. We'll work out a scheme in the coffee board for the matching loan. If the FPO provides a small component, we'll get you a matching loan from a bank. We'll see if coffee board can create a fund to guarantee that and help these FPOs start processing your coffee, adding value to the coffee, and whatever will be the profit will be shared by all the farmers or the cooperative members, so that the benefit of value addition goes back to the farmers and makes and increases the income of the farming community. We also are continuing with the scheme for replantation, for water augmentation, for eco certification. And I was just now talking to Jagdishan and Mr. Dinesh that we should also look at whether we can get some equipment through BIS support. The Bureau of Indian Standards has a scheme by which they will fund testing equipment. And by setting up testing equipment in all the various districts where coffee is grown, you can start gradation of coffee. If you give graded coffee based on the quality, then I think the farmers can get a better income for the coffee that they are producing, and it will encourage our farmers not to do preemptive cultivation. They should make sure the coffee is given the full time so that good quality coffee can be produced. And if they get a better value for good quality after testing, I'm sure our Hatti coffee friend will tell us that better the quality, you will give a better price to the farmers. And all the buyers will gradually be encouraged to produce good quality coffee and get a good value for their coffee. Friends, a few issues that were raised by my colleagues, I would like to address. One was about incentives. Tejasvi Surya mentioned that 21,000 applications have been received, worth about 200 crores, and the available funds this year is expected to be about 95 crores. Of course, I'll have to go back to the finance ministry to increase the funds, but I can assure you, for every viable project, where the project is viable, where the project is designed to increase the income of the farmers, and preferably if it is in the form of an FPO or a cooperative, I will make sure between the current year and the next year, 24, 25 and 25, 26, all these applicants, 100% of them will get the incentive that they deserve. So nobody will be left wanting. But the scheme should be in such a manner that it provides support to maximum number of farmers. We have 4.5 lakh coffee growers. Ideally, instead of just supporting individuals, our priority will be to support FPOs and cooperatives. That way we can get paid. Friends, another issue raised was about the chairman. Why are you worried about what powers he has or he doesn't have powers? He's my man. He's the minister's representative. Please consider him as your coffee minister. Go to him for your problems. And all his problems will be my responsibility. I am empowering him. The law doesn't empower anybody. You may have a very empowered chairman under the law, but I don't think that will be more empowerment than what he can get from me. He is my representative. Every issue taken up with him will be escalated to me personally. And that is his empowerment. Jagdishan, whatever the chairman says, has to be given the highest priority. That is the directive to you on this public forum. Whatever chairman says will be gospel, will be like the Bhagavad Gita. And you have to implement his directions. And if there's any problem, Mr. Dinesh, please come back directly to me. We don't have any problems. No, we will make sure you never have a problem. That problem is good problem because we are all public servants. We are all working with the objective to serve our brothers and sisters. If I was to be worried about my salary, then I would have never left my lucrative profession and ever joined politics or become a minister. Because what salary I get as a minister, I donate every year. And that is not even what probably I would be earning if I was pursuing my profession in one day. So I can assure you we are all here to serve the people and are not here to look at salary. I urge you, don't worry about that. Worry about what more we can do and what more I can do for our farmer brothers and sisters. Another issue that was raised was about the elephant corridors. Many members raised it. Tejasvi raised it. I think our MP, our MLAs raised it. You have talked about drone survey to work out. The coffee board has been planning a drone survey to identify the elephant corridor and to see what can be done. I will invite the Honorable MP Mr. Patel, our three MLAs, Kumar Swami ji and I will both go to the Environment Minister Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji and we will work with him to see what can be done to address this problem of elephants. I will go one step further. Instead of only a drone survey, today I will order to BISAC, BISAC, which is set up by Prime Minister Modi in Gandhinagar, which has prepared the technology platform for PM Gati Shakti, which has helped infrastructure growth and infrastructure projects being speeded up in a big way. I will order to BISAC to do a satellite survey of the elephant corridors and to study the reports through satellite for the last 10 or 15 years, and using the old satellite reports and the current satellite images to identify the elephant corridor, and then we will go to the Environment Minister. It is a difficult subject, as the Honorable MLA also said. This man-animal conflict is a very delicate subject. The whole world is protecting our animals. The whole world is concerned about the reducing species, whether elephants or many other animals. But we'll have to find an amicable solution by which this conflict can be converted into coexistence. And our objective will be that man-animal conflict becomes history